I created my own Fortnite Miles Morales trailer fighting Prowler in Chapter 3. Thought it would be a very good idea to make this trailer because you know that the Prowler skin is coming out in a couple days. Before creating this trailer, what I had to do is come up with a plan so I knew how to execute this plan perfectly, so I didn't waste time and made the right choices for an intense trailer. I went back in time to see some other trailers that Fortnite have made in the past and to see what they did to make a perfect trailer for an upcoming skin. A lot of trailers were very similar. They started out with the main character, then in some intense action and music, and then a new skin being revealed, and obviously at the end they have their 2D effects showing off the new skin and animations. So I had to do something similar. The first thing that I had to do is get my skin, so all I had to do is import them into Blender and get them all textured so they had the right look. Then the fun part was doing the rigging, so I actually use an IK rig to make the animations a bit easier. That means when I move the hand or the foot, it will move the whole arm and the whole leg. This is the only way that I found easiest. Obviously there's other ways if I had a motion capture suit, but that costs way too much money. With the skins all rigged and ready to animate, all I had to do is make a scene. That's kind of the hardest bit to do, to make a scene that would fit it very perfectly for the animation. I was struggling with the ideas at this point for a scene that would look pretty good, so I went onto Google and tried to find some ideas there. With a long time creating my own mood board and obviously other environments that I have found, I think I have an idea of what I want the scene to look like. I obviously started with the easiest thing, and that has to be the floor. The next part I did was by creating the walls. I thought this was very important because you want the walls to not be too boring. I thought the scene was coming along nicely, but as we can see in the scene, it looks very bland and there's not a lot going on in the background or anything like that, so I had to fill it in the empty spots in the walls. The scene started to look very realistic, but I obviously wanted that Fortnite look, so I started importing the blimp and taking assets from the blimp and then putting it into my scene. So the scene and everything complete, I think it's time to animate. For the first camera in the trailer, I wanted Prowler to be getting up, looking a little bit confused and also injured, and for the sound effects in the background to be slowly building up, and also you have Miles' sound effects or webbing and him moving about in the background. I won't take you through the whole entire animation because a lot of this was just making the animation and obviously keyframing and loads of small little movements and making the poses look kind of realistic, and also the flow of the animation actually look pretty decent because I'm not an animator. After each scene and animation I completed, I had to render the final result. After a few hours of rendering, I had to make the final effects within After Effects. That was making the sound, the 2D animation at the very end, and also to make the whole trailer look like a comic book effect. With many hours gone into this trailer, I have finally completed it. If you haven't seen the animation yet, then check the description because I have a link for you to go watch that animation. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. I have more video plans for the future, so if you did enjoy, then please like and subscribe.